If it hurts, you ain't breaks, we'll get you, don't let us put on more steam. Projectile kickers, our quarterback, our leading our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win it. Rest you again, here for the first minute. Can everybody keep it there for 60 minutes?
Rocky Top will always be.
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Like I said, like we play with a chip on our shoulder at Tennessee. So, you know, we get a lot of disrespect. So we want to make it clear that we're going to come out and dominate day in and day out.
It's, you know, here it's Tennessee. So, you know, we're going to get the best guys here. You know, that's just every year. Every time we're out there, it's competition. You know, nobody has a spot. Nobody's comfortable. We're all working to get better.
We've got to raise the bar, and we've got to continue to raise the bar. I don't think any of those young men, when they signed to come to Tennessee, they signed to say they wanted to come and be a part of a 7-6 program. All right, they said they wanted to come and compete for championships, SEC championships, national championships. I know that's what I want. I know that's what Tennessee wants. I know that's what the expectation is. So we've got to continue to reassess everything that we're doing and make sure that we're continuing to move the needle in the right direction.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talking Vols, and my guy Boogie Bentley runs, so shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's coming in the air. We fell in love. You remember how could I ever forget? You remember we fell in love. You remember how could I ever forget? Coming in the air.
Good Wednesday evening. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. He's Coach Jay. He's Coach Rice. The Vol baseball team is off to the College World Series final. Boys, I tell you what, man, when they got down, when they went down one game early, I was like, this team, when they fought back, when they battled back, they won the Super Regional, they're off to the College World Series. When they're off to Omaha, I said, this team's got it. This is the year. This is the year for Tony Vitello and the baseball team. Coach Rice, you called it. You like Babe Ruth. You pointed, you called your shot. You think this baseball team's going to get it done? We got a College World Series National Championship coming our way.
Yeah, I don't know if some of you remember on the live stream about a month, maybe 2 months ago. I said, calling it now. Baseball natty, football natty. Called them both. Called them 2 months ago. Hey, we're almost there for the first one. So let's just knock the door down and keep on going.
Coach Jay,
Amen,
the California kid's in the house, and he is the most pasty, pale, white kid on the show.
I was like, Coach Pasty in the house. Yeah. I was. We were giving each other a hard time in the back, no, it's true. We've had mild weather. I've been putting up with 75-degree weather for the last 4 months, but no sun, so I've been tortured, right, guys. But no, sun's finally starting to get out, so I can work on not being so pasty and sport some of this Talkin VAWLS tank top merch here over the summer. But breaking it in, feeling good, man. Feeling good about these baseballs, man. What a fun team to watch, right? What an incredible run they're on. Coach Jay put a little bet down before the tournament started on them winning the whole thing. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I don't know about you guys, but maybe the first time I'll ever say this, let's go Gators in the next game. Like, who doesn't just want to whip the crap out of Florida in the championship, though? I mean, like, run them off the field like 20 runs, both games, stomp on home plate, chomp in their faces, step on their jersey. Okay, I'll stop. All right, but I feel
you, but that Florida's got to beat them twice, so it's gonna be tough.
I think we're definitely gonna do a watch party. I think we're gonna do a watch party. We'll figure out. We'll figure out when, where, right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. What do you guys think? Like, last weekend, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk a ton of freaking recruiting. We're going to talk last weekend's visits. We're going to talk what's coming up this upcoming weekend. We are right around the corner from 2 players coming off the board, 2 decisions, 2 guys going to be coming off the board. But last weekend, Super Regional, it was a big recruiting weekend for Tennessee. Coach Eddie, how much do you think that impacts it in any way? Like, just seeing the environment, right? Tennessee hosting a Super Regional. And, I know VolQuest kind of reported on a little bit and said, the football team didn't really utilize it, but guess what? They had the games on at the recruiting events, and kids were watching, parents were watching, obviously the staff was watching. How much does it impact it when this baseball team's good? This baseball team, it's man, Tennessee, it's an everything school right now.
Winning's contagious, man. Right? We always say it in any sport, winning's contagious, and when you got a strong program, man, it's contagious. Look at Florida State, who we just put away, right? Football teams kind of turned it around a little bit. Baseball teams playing well. These things can start to spitball a little. You get some momentum on campus, and and as I'm sure everyone in this chat recalls, it was a basketball game that moved Nico's mom, right? The love that the Tennessee fan base showed at a big moment in a basketball game that started moving the family. So it's huge when you can have something like that on, and you can just feel that energy throughout Knoxville. I think it helps quite a bit.
Let me hit the chat. Let's see who's hanging out bright and early. Nick Walker was here, says it's great to be a Tennessee Vols. Shane Mountain was here at 5:18 Eastern Time, said he's ready for some recruiting. Rocky Top Thomas here says, woo, recruiting live stream. Robbie, I call him Robbie, his name's Sora the Demon, is ready to talk some recruiting. Matt's here, says, go Big Orange. Tony Canada says, hey, everyone, what's up, Boogie? Connor is here apologizing. Don't ever apologize, man. If you got to miss a live stream, you got to miss a live stream. But he brings up a point. He says, I couldn't make the stream for the EA Sports College Football 25. Is there still a Patreon? There are still a few spots left. The link to the Patreon is in the description below. There's a few spots left. You're going to have an opportunity to play against myself, Coach Jay, Coach. I put these guys in the corner. I said, listen, I'm gonna lecture you boys. I'm gonna tell you guys something. You are not allowed to be in any other dynasty. Only the Talkin VAWLS dynasty. They said, yes, sir. They said, yes, sir. No problem, sir. So if you want to play with Coach Jay, Coach Rice, Dauber, or myself, you want to maybe go head-to-head with Coach Jay on the Tennessee-Alabama week, and you get Coach Jay one-on-one. These guys have to buy a headset. I've got to buy a headset. You get to hang out and talk one-on-one with these guys if that's who you play that week. I think it's a huge opportunity to build the community. The Patreon is in the description below, and if you guys want to join the Patreon, there's a $1 tier. Like, if you just want access to the Patreon, you want to support what we do, you can do that as well. But Connor, there are still some spots available. Rolly Season, been a member for 20 months. Appreciate that. You guys can join that way as well. Support the channel that way. Hit that join button. Says, what up, ball fan? Boogie, you doing a watch party for the finals? I addressed that earlier. I think we are definitely going to do that. I said it's great to be a Tennessee Vol. Dropping those power T emojis. Also drops a door fee. Thank you for the super chat. $5 $5 says door fee. Shout out Rolly Season. Keep those donations coming. You guys support this channel. You guys give us the opportunity to do this thing full time. And guess what? Sometimes I like to give back to you guys. The way you guys show up, show out, show love, you support this channel. I want to give away some free merch tonight. But I'm going to challenge you guys. We got to get to 300 live viewers. Oh, we can't do that, Boogie. It's June. Tennessee baseball team we did it last weekend, or last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, we hit 300 live viewers. Let's do it again. So go hit the share button, hit that thumbs up, blast this thing all over Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and say, hey, guys, if you're not watching, Boogie's about to give away some free merch. Come hang out just for a couple of seconds is all you got to do. We get 300 live viewers. We're gonna give away some free merch tonight. So let's see if we can do that. But let's get into it. Man, a huge weekend of recruiting last weekend. We've also got a huge recruiting weekend coming up ahead of us. I told you guys, I want some storylines. Coming out of the weekend, so all three of us have something we kind of want to talk about, and then we're going to open up the conversation. For me, it's about flipping some elite level prospects, and I'm going to start, if I can find, I got 8,000 tabs open. I'm going to start with this one right here. I want to talk about Isaiah Gibson. He's the number 1 edge rusher in the country, 27th best player overall, a legit dude. And we knew this decommitment was coming. Coach Jay was supposed to take him out on the yacht out there at USC.
Whoa. How do you know he wasn't on the yacht and that Coach Jay wasn't double agenting for the Tennessee Vols?
I like this new narrative. New narrative. Gabe says break down Gibson's decommitment. Yeah, that's what we're going to kick things off with here, man. It's just we knew this decommitment was coming. A lot of things that I've read is that he wants to stay a little bit closer to home. But again, 4-star edge rusher, number 1 edge rusher in the country, committed to USC since March, visited Tennessee back in April, kind of the typical song and dance, right? Can Tennessee get him back for an official? He visited Georgia on May the 31st. He was in town last weekend. I read a 247 Sports article going into the weekend last weekend. Top 5 recruiting storylines. Guess what number 1 was? Can Tennessee emerge as USC's biggest threat for 5-star edge, Isaiah Gibson? Coach Jay, you kick it off first. You're a defensive guy. You love breaking down the edge position. What do you think about Isaiah Gibson's game? And let's kind of throw some edge rushers in here. I know you wanted to talk about Jared Smith. We can do that here too. Who would you take, Isaiah Gibson or Jared Smith?
Listen, I've watched Gibson's game, but I haven't jumped in the seconds of it. You know what I mean, Coach Rice? I haven't popped in, really paused on the footwork, watched it, through and through. I have taken a peek at about maybe 2-3 minutes of it. They both bring a little something different. Isaiah's a little stouter on that edge. Yeah. Maybe gives up a little length and speed, even though he's plenty tall and plenty big. He just doesn't have a kind of that Gumby arm and strength, but he can close down on the run a little better from the edge and is still plenty long and fast enough to pursue. So, hey, look, we can really get deep in with him and make this thing interesting. Maybe we'll throw in an old Coach Jay breakdown for Isaiah Gibson and really jump into it. But look, he's one of 2 edge players, 3 edge players in the country that Coach Jay would take right now. And I think the Vols could be that selective at the defensive edge position right now, which is just a gigantic luxury when you can really say, hey, look, if you're not a 5-star defensive edge, 4+ star, 4.9, 5-star, we're just not really that interested in you because that's what Coach G has created. Tennessee is edge U right now in college football. There is no football program better at the end position than Tennessee throughout the depth chart.
Just to add on about Isaiah Gibson, I have seen a lot. Once we got the news that there's a tweet, maybe about a month ago. I can't remember, as a lady that did out a tweet saying Tennessee may be the dark horse here for Isaiah Gibson.
Anna Adams. Let's put some respect on her name because she was the first one to call that out.
I knew that as a lady. I just couldn't remember what her name was. And ever since then, I've got on the horse and looked into this guy, and he's all was there, man. What we need at the edge, what Coach Gardner likes to have on the edge, length, explosiveness, excuse me, athleticism. This dude's got all three. So I think Tennessee's right up there with Georgia. It's going to be tough fighting off Georgia. I think he has a buddy that just decommitted from USC today as well, Terry, that's probably going to end up at Georgia. So we're going to have to fight that off. But as of right now, I like our chances. I'd say a 55% chance Tennessee lands Isaiah Gibson over Georgia just because we have the momentum. And add him, and I don't want to kill the storyline because I'm going to bring him back up later. But we're going to get to a couple other edge guys, but Isaiah Gibson is most definitely a take if we get it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, Georgia, Florida, Ohio State, Tennessee, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Auburn, we're all in it. But everything you heard was Georgia, 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 Georgia. But Tennessee, like you mentioned Anna Adams, Coach Rice, putting it out there. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, hold on. Let me start looking into this, see how realistic it is. It made me really have my eyeballs on him going into the official, and then coming out of it. Austin Price at VolQuest said Tennessee really impressed Isaiah Gibson. He says, in my opinion, the Vols will leave the weekend with a great chance to flip the 5-star edge. Sound like he hopes to do something in late June or early July. Chad Simmons, after the decommitment from USC, which was yesterday, said Georgia has had the most buzz around it going back to May when he was there for Kirby Smart. Scavenger Hunt says he's taken officials to Georgia, Auburn, and Tennessee since. All three schools made impressions on him. Other schools know Georgia is the home state school, and that's where it starts. But Tennessee gained some confidence last weekend with him on campus. Auburn has to be taken seriously as well. Now, his recruitment could go into the fall. I know it mentions there, AP said late June, early July. Chad Simmons has kind of said it could go into the fall. We'll see what happens there. But Tennessee looking to flip Isaiah Gibson. That's big for me. Shout out to Trey, the ambassador, for becoming a member of the channel. You guys, I saw somebody in the comments today said, where are you guys getting these Tennessee emojis? If you hit the join button right over there beside subscribe, you get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. So shout out to Trey. If you guys want to do that, hit that join button. It's only $1, just $1. That's all it is. We appreciate that support. Somebody else that I want to talk about, and that is Jaden Perlotti, a guy, again, going into the weekend that was on Flip Alert, 4-star linebacker, 6'3", 200 pounds out of Buford, Georgia, committed to Georgia since 2022, December of 2022, and I already know what's going to happen, and it's probably maybe a little bit, accurate that Georgia's over-recruiting him, maybe. I think that's probably realistic if Georgia fans are going to say that. But does Tennessee have a legitimate shot? Let's take a listen to what Steve Wiltfong had to say about Jordan Perlotti after this past weekend.
But he hasn't completely shut this recruitment down. Do you think Tennessee has a shot at flipping him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's expected back at Georgia next weekend, but he's been on flip watch for quite some time. At first, it was Florida State. There's been a lot of Auburn smoke around this recruitment. But coming out of this Tennessee visit, talking to some folks that spent some time with him, and then also if you read Chad Simmons' report on our Tennessee On 3 site as well, there is some really good positive buzz about Tennessee right now for Jaden Perlotti.
But he hasn't completely shut.
One thing I'd say about that real quick, AP said he may not even take that last visit to Georgia.
Did you see that? It was like a little before 5 tonight. He said he doesn't think he's going to take it. So it doesn't sound like that visit is going to take place. And again, that was right around 5 p.m. Said I don't believe he will visit based off my talks earlier today with people. So that's huge when that came out. But again, a four-star linebacker, top 150 guy, man. And that's the narrative here. That's the theme. Look at all the guys that are on campus that are top 150, top 300 guys. Coach, have you looked much into Jaden Perlotti? What do you think about his game in the linebacker room that you've been praising for quite a while now?
Yeah, I'll take a look at every linebacker, basically in the top 300, Boogie. So I've definitely taken a very, very close look at him, and man, I perked way up when I realized this could be a really good option. there's really four traits that I look for at a high level college linebacker: vision, tackling, pass protection, and leadership. And Jaden's got all of them, right? Jaden's got all of them. He sees the field really well. A kid who recognizes his read step really quickly, whether it's a hop step because he's in pass pro, whether it's a down step because there's a down block, whether he's sidestepping and knifing in because the backside guards pulling or backside tackles pulling. He's going to push through that. A kid who I think can play either Will or Mike at the next level. Just a high level recruit. You see the size on him, 6'3", 200 pounds. If I were to try to take a stab at putting a knock on him, and this isn't really, as Coach Rice will tell you, this isn't even really a knock, is he makes that decision so fast sometimes that you worry about him getting tricked at the next level as a freshman. But once he kind of figures out those games that are played at the next level, I think he'll be solid throughout his sophomore, junior, senior year in the position.
Yeah, again, isn't that a good thing though when we're talking about a linebacker room with?
Yes.
You know, we got Keenan Peely, who's 47 years old and got grandkids at this point. Arian Carter, right? He was the same thing. Arian Carter is elite, but it took some growing pains. And I know he got hurt and we didn't really see that full potential. But that linebacker room that Coach Jay's broke down, all the film breakdowns you can go back and watch on that playlist. That linebacker room's solid. So Jaden Perlotti can come in and learn. Sorry, Coach Rice, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. What I was going to just say is to build on what Coach Jay said. And it's with every player coming out of high school to college, especially at that level of college football, but especially at the linebacker level. Linebacker, running back are the two where it takes the game, and the quarterback, obviously, it takes the game a little bit longer. You have to slow the game down. You play fast, but slow the game down mentally to where it's like, you see the Spider-Man movies or Flash movies where everyone else is moving. He seems like he's going slow, but it's just he's flying past everybody. That's what we're talking about. Once he gets up to that level, learns the game a little bit more, knows where to be in assignment from what he's getting coached from Coach Inge and Coach Banks. That's when you see these linebackers. That's what they talk about, development, taking that next step. And this is a guy, Jaden Perlotti, let his speed and athleticism, and you see this all over the Coach Heupel's team. It's not just defense. It's not just offense. Speed and athleticism is all over the place on this roster, and it's unreal. Like they're raw at some spots, but they have speed and athleticism all over the place. And this dude is, like Coach Jay said, he has a lot of traits of what makes up a good linebacker. And I tweeted you, Boogie, that dude's a flip waiting to happen.
Yeah, all signs indicate that he's flipping, and he's flipping to Tennessee. So we'll see what happens. I think for sure it was kind of one of those deals, right? He takes the visit, and it's like he had even said in quotes, I don't want to decommit. I want to wait and go through the visits. Well, he visits Tennessee, and then the next day he decommits. Last night, I'm firing up the NCAA stream. I'm like, we're about to get a commit. When it was Isaiah Gibson, I think it was last night. But it's this kid. It's like we're just waiting, and then all signs indicate he cancels that Georgia visit.
Yeah,
I'm in. I think I'm in. It's kind of like Isaiah Gibson decommitting. I'm in. I think Isaiah Gibson is coming to Tennessee. I think Perlotti is coming to Tennessee. I do. And we're going to get into Coach Rice's narrative coming out of the weekend here in just a second. But when you're talking about the number one edge rusher, the number one offensive tackle, George McIntyre, a 5-star quarterback, that's how you start to piece together a top 5 recruiting class. We're going to get into that in just a second. Let's see here. We got a member chat from Elijah the Kid Allen for 36 months, 3 years. 3 years of being in this member of this channel. Shout out to Elijah. We appreciate it, brother. Thank you for all the support. You guys can get in where you fit in for just $1. Just $1 a month. Memphis Ball for $5. Appreciate that super chat. I say it all the time on the videos, for the fans, by the fans, also fan funded. If you guys saw the ad revenue on this channel, you'd say, how in the world does Boogie do this full time? Well, I don't. I do it because of you guys, the super chats, the membership. So I appreciate all the love and support you give. Connor follows that up and becomes a member of the channel at Talkin VAWLS Gold, man. That's $5 a month. Shout out, Connor. We appreciate the support, brother. Thank you, guys. Those of you that make those donations, we appreciate it. It keeps the lights on around here. Coach Jay, your storyline coming out of the weekend. Let's get into it.
You know who it is, man. It's the big dog. It's the big dog, right? You see the pictures come out, with McIntyre all over of David. And look, man, he looked good in that dark mode uniform too, right? I'll take it. That picture with all 5 offensive linemen too.
That was great.
One of the hardest pictures to come out of recruiting of all time. If you want to get the in-depth video, go check out the live breakdown of this kid, or not the live, but the film breakdown series video that we did on David. I really like this kid. He's a tackle that can pull. We talk about it all the time. You got to be a tackle that can pull in Josh Heupel's offense. And he's got another tool in his toolbox that I don't think Tennessee's had an offensive tackle that can do yet, at least that I've seen him. And that is he can jot out and block on the bubble screens.
Mm-hmm.
There's video of him doing this in his high school film to the long side of the field, let alone the short side of the field. So if you can stick a Brew McCoy, on one side of the field as the X, I'm just giving an example. Brew won't be there when David gets there, and then stick trips to the top of the field, and now all of a sudden you have your left tackle going out to block a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that you put Mike Matthews out there. You have David Sanders pop out on a bubble screen, block the only cornerback there, and now you have as a safety in open space to make a play on Mike Matthews. See ya, gone, goodbye. And then you've got mismatches on the top of the field as well when you get it in these situations. He's got every tool in his tool bag. We've all said it. He's as close as you can get to a must get in this class. And I think the Vols are sitting mighty pretty, as everyone's talked about, and as some mouths have almost slipped out of how deep we believe we are with David. But I'm super excited about this kid. Give us our second 5-star of the class.
Coach Rice.
Had it on blast.
Coach Rice.
Had it on blast.
He's already laughing. I want Coach Rice to analyze this for us. As VolQuest asked George McIntyre what he thinks about peer recruiting David Sanders. By the way, George, what's going on in this picture? Like in this picture right here, like George looks like he'd been hanging out in California with Coach Jay.
Yeah,
what's going on in this?
Been eating them gummies, man. Been eating those gummies.
Yeah, what's going on with the George here? All right, let's take a listen. For those that haven't seen this, those that didn't watch the video, those that didn't watch the interview, this is after George's official visit. Been peer recruiting David Sanders. VolQuest asked him what he thinks about David and his recruitment, and here we go.
Yeah, just hanging out with Dave again. He's been great. He's a great guy, great player. He knows we want him bad. He knows it should be the place for him. So, I can't wait.
Can't wait for
what? Can't wait for what, George?
To pull the string.
You don't know?
Yeah, get to a decision date.
Oh, he can't wait to get to a decision, Coach Rice. Hey, look, we're picking on a 17-year-old kid that's in front of the media, but that's pretty telling. What are your thoughts on that interview and the recruitment of David Sanders?
That's got a fat-ass orange emoji all over it.
Hey, put those orange emojis in the chat for Coach Rice.
There you go.
Oh, you got that right. Hey, this dude's a Vol, y'all. I'll go ahead and tell you, man. It's so awesome to know that LRB has done it, y'all. And I know he's not committed, but he's committed, y'all. LRB has finally done it. I know we gave him his props last year because he did bring in a solid class. But y'all, he's brought in the number 2 player in the country, the top ranked offensive lineman. And this dude is legit. He's going to be, I have a feeling he's going to be a day 1 starter. And because, I mean, I think you plug him in at right tackle. You got Hurd at left tackle when he gets here. And look out. I mean, look out. Talking about that picture of 5 offensive linemen, the SEC is going to fear our offensive linemen and the spacing we create. Like those 5 offensive linemen against 3 D linemen and 2 linebackers, and with the 5 O linemen we got and the spacing, look at like that's got 2,000 yard rushers written all over it. And yeah, I said that right. 2,000 yard rushers. And I look forward to it. Like I said, he's a Vol. He hasn't said it out loud yet, but I go and tell you, he's told his boy G Mac because there's an orange emoji all over that. He just should have spit out orange emojis coming out of his mouth from George McIntyre.
Memphis Ball for 2 says, hope y'all are right. We appreciate the super chat, Memphis Ball. Always good to have you in the chat, my friend. Coach Jay, are we somebody here in the chat here? Who was it? Cameron says, we counting the chickens before they hatch? I don't know if I feel that he's a silent commit. I think he's so close to George that George feels like he's coming to Tennessee. Where were you at, Coach Jay?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't think he's necessarily a silent commit yet. I just think, like you said, he's just so close with George, and you could just tell George feels it in that interview, and they've just been so close throughout the process. Listen, Tennessee's knocked these visits out of the park. I mean, he's been to Tennessee more than any other school. Grew up at Clemson, or he was a big Clemson fan, right? Ditched their spring game to come to our spring game. I just think we've done a better job with him. You know, from the beginning to the end. Can Ohio State possibly throw in a muck-up pitch somehow? Maybe get them to elongate that commit somehow and play the long game, then maybe. But I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch, but I know where the eggs are in the carton. Let's put it that way.
I like it.
By the way, guys, we've got 231 people watching live. I'm going to make the push. We got to make the push. I want 300 people. I want to hit 300 people on this Wednesday night. Share out the link. Hit the thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate it. We get 300 people in here, I'm going to give away 2 shirts. I'm going to give away 2 free Talkin VAWLS t-shirts tonight. I'm going to lose money because that's how I have my eyes set on 300 live viewers. So make sure you guys share it out. Put it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, wherever you get social with your media. Let them know that we are live, and Talkin VAWLS is the place to be on this Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I saw somebody in the chat ask when that decision is coming. It's supposed to be late July, maybe early August. Man, I'm torn because I really truly believe he's a Vol. But like Coach Jay just said, I'm worried about that Ohio State visit. I am. I'm worried, but it's like I've said it over and over and over in videos. Tennessee, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State. Tennessee's been the constant. The relationship with George, I think David Sanders is a Vol.
I think, and want to add on one more thing. I think if once he comes out of the Ohio State visit, I think he already knows, like personally, that he wants to go to Tennessee. There's been rumors saying he may move it up, his commitment. It's not been, he hasn't, came out and said he's moving his official commitment up. But there's been rumors saying, depending how this visit goes, get out of this week, you never know. He may, next couple weeks, may take a week or 2 to think about it and then come out with a commitment. So I think there's a possibility you could see first, second week of July. But that's just from what we've heard about rumors of when he may come out. Now, he may take it all the way to August like he originally said he would. But if a kid knows what's home and where he wants to play, the kid's not going to. And David's a smart kid. He is very smart. And he knows if he can get in the class and help recruit, he knows that's the best thing for him if that's what he ends up choosing. So I could see it definitely coming sooner rather than later.
Got a question here asking what we think about the Brame kid. We're going to get into that in just a little bit because we're right around the corner from a couple of decisions. First and foremost, Charles House coming up on the 22nd, which is Saturday. We're going to be covering that live. I always try to figure out 247 Sports. They're like 10:50 or 11:50 a.m. I don't know if that's accurate. We'll continue to track it, and we'll let you guys know. He's coming off the board on Saturday, though. We're going to live stream that decision, and then Deshaun Brame is coming off the board on June the 29th. So we're going to be covering both of those live. We'll get into those in just a minute, but we got 3 hot storylines coming off the weekend. I'm in flip season mode. Coach Jay wanted to talk about David Sanders. Coach Rice wants to talk about a legitimate, true shot at signing 5 stars in the class of 25. Coach Rice, the floor is yours, brother.
Man, think it just at the beginning of when Coach Heupel got here, we were, as Vol fans and as a team, in complete chaos. Now, look at where we are now. We have a legit shot of landing a top 5 class and 5 5-stars. A legit shot. I'm not saying we are, but there's a legit shot that we can land 5 5-stars. And what that 5 5-stars does, that's top 3 or even better class. I'm talking Jordan G. Mack, who we already have in the boat, David Sanders, who's the 2nd-ranked player in the nation, Isaiah Gibson, who I think is trending towards Tennessee, Josh Petty, pending how things go at Florida State, still has a chance to come to Tennessee, and one of the 2 5-star wide receivers. We're not going to land both of them, but I think we have a legit shot at landing one of them. Are we going to land one of them? That's up in the air, but we have a legit shot. And my one right now, I'm changing my tone from last week, is Jamie French. I think Jamie French is he's talked about coming back in for an unofficial visit in late July. That means he's liked it enough. Can we keep the momentum going with him? There's been rumors going around that he may take it all throughout the season. Can we get an unofficial visit for a Tennessee Alabama game at Tennessee? Can we get an unofficial visit for that game? Can we get something where these kids that take it all the way to signing day or during the fall season, maybe Josh Petty takes it throughout the season. Maybe he comes in for an unofficial visit for a game. But the fact of it is that Tennessee, Josh Heupel, when we hired him, his storyline was he can't recruit. Now think about it. We've signed how many 5-stars already?
More than any coach since Fulmer.
Yeah, more than any coach since Fulmer. Key one being Nico Iamaleava. And I would even say Hurd via the transfer portal.
You know what? That I got to cut you off because that pisses me off. Certain people are so negative that they just fish for reasons to devalue what this coaching staff has done. If you don't think going and getting Lance Hurd is like signing a 5-star, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
That's a sophomore. He's going into his sophomore year, and he's a 5. He was just below Nico as far as ratings go. Like, you kidding me? Get out of here.
The potential doesn't just disappear. Like it just don't. Like he's still the same great player that on 3 who we all, do upon on the recruiting ratings. He's still that good of a player. Now can Coach Ellerby develop him and Coach Heupel? So the 5-stars are coming in. Can we finish and get over the line and bring in 3, 4, 5 5-stars? I think we can. Do we bring in 5? I'm not saying that we are, but I'm saying there's a legit shot. I think there is a better shot that we land 4, but hey, that's night and day from where we were 4 years ago, and every Tennessee Vol fan better throw some respect on Coach Heupel's name, and take it in, because he's got us on the right track. He's got Tennessee Nation where we're supposed to be, fighting for national championships and top 5 recruitment classes, and that's where he's got us.
You know the thing for me though, like 5 stars. You mentioned Jamie French. For me, coming out of the weekend, I felt kind of the same way. Like I don't think Caleb Cunningham is coming to Tennessee. For the same reasons that you said, the fact that Jamie French said he would like to get back here again. He's a dude that's regularly left Tennessee out of the top 3. It's always been Texas, LSU, Miami. So when he came out of the official this past weekend, Tennessee was in that top 3. And then I'm like, whatever. And we'll talk about Shady Hayward in a little bit. Is he trolling? I mean, he may be trolling, but when we talk about Jamie French, the fact that he wants to come back for an unofficial, and like it is going to get real fluid. Those guys that stretch out their commitments when Nico goes out and balls out, and you're talking about 10 wins and a possible college football playoff, that's gonna change the landscape of recruiting for this class of 2025. But I felt the same way. But the big difference for me, and then I'll throw it to Coach Jay here when we're talking about all these 5 stars that Tennessee's in on. You miss on Caleb Cunningham. You miss on Jamie French. Guess what? Travis Smith is a guy that is the 75th overall. He's just outside the top 10 at wide receiver. That's your fallback guy. A top 75 guy is your fallback guy, Coach Jay. I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah. Good problems to have, right? And I talked about it last week, man. I'm just over the moon on where our wide receiver room is. I know we didn't get the production we needed out of it last year, but I'm happy with it. And I like our recruiting class right now as it sits today at wide receiver. I mean, Rad can play, man. That kid is going to be an absolute highlight reel at the next level. I just like where we are. And if we get Smith, I really like where we are. That kid has got some Spider-Man hands on him as well. Perfect frame. As I understand it, he's pretty tight with Mike Matthews as well. So that's something that the Vols can lean on, someone that's kind of paved the way and that he's close to and can kind of talk to and trust and see that. So I'd be more than happy with Smith. But don't be surprised if when this season starts getting along and the Vols see some success, if some names start popping up on this board that we didn't think we had a chance with, especially at the skill positions. Listen, I'll just lay it on the line, guys. I've said it before. Nico's going to be extremely special at quarterback, right? Extremely special. He's going to do things this year that are going to turn a lot of heads and make a lot of recruits want to play with him, even if it's for 1 year. So I do see that coming. And look, Tennessee is not slowing down at the quarterback position. It's reload, man. It's one bullet after the other. And I'm excited about the wide receiver position. I think we're going to be just fine for the foreseeable future.
Hey, real quick, Boogie. Did y'all see where on David Sanders' tweet, he said big or go big orange, ? And then him and G-Mac were in the picture. Who was the first person that tweeted underneath it? Faison Brandon.
Was it?
Big orange emoji. Hey, I'm telling you, Coach Heupel, QBU, baby. QBU.
And I know a little birdie that's up here on the top level with me that said a long time ago on this channel that guys like to play with 5-star quarterbacks.
Yep.
So when you start stacking guys like Nico and like George and like Brandon, like I just think, man, it's hard. How could they not relate to Coach Heupel, right? I mean, national championship quarterback, Heisman Trophy runner-up. Like, how could you not relate to that? And Heupel just gets it, man. And I think that's a huge advantage for Tennessee. Spread yourself for 2. Remember A.J. Johnson, first rounder, falsely accused of sexual abuse. Why is this a super chat? Like
I don't know. But can I spend a second really quick? And I think we always love pushback on this channel, right? But William Robinson in the comment section, if I could just push back really quick on this comment right here. and I get it, right? Like what's special about college football is all the tradition that money wasn't poisoning it like the pros, although it kind of always was. But I don't know if you have it a chance yet, William, but go check out some of our interviews
Mm.
in the live list that we've had with some of these kids. I think that you'll find that there are kids that really value the family culture that's at Tennessee, that value what the Power T stands for. And I'm not saying money's not a component at all. It is. It's part of the discussion. But I think you'd be really surprised at some of the reasons some of these kids said that they're coming to Tennessee. So definitely go check out some of those videos. I don't want to speak for the recruits. I think they do a great job speaking for themselves, specifically ones where there's family members involved. But I get that gut reaction to not like the money. But I do think that Tennessee has done a great job of still representing that Power T and promoting the university and what it stands for in the modern recruiting era.
If I was going to point anybody to two, it would be Bennett Warren, who said that he didn't even talk NIL. He just committed based off the culture, the environment, development, and then Anthony Aguimoro, obviously the best interview we've ever had. Listen to Mama's story. And dude, did you see? I know Coach Jay saw it because you retweeted it before I even saw it. When his dad, yeah, I'm like, I showed it to my wife and I was like, man, the fact that Pop said on that, waiting till Father's Day, like, and he put the music behind it. I'm like, oh my gosh. That was awesome. And shout out William. That's what this channel is all about. That was a civil response from Coach Jay. Everybody has their opinions, but go watch Bennett Warren's interview and go watch Anthony Aguimoro's interview. And I think that may change your mind just a little bit. Coach Jay, you said you wanted to talk a little bit about the edge position. We can talk about Jared Smith if you want to bring him into the conversation, but I want to talk about this guy. I want to talk about Zion Grady. And this is probably going to get us demonetized, but is this cringe? Is this cringe, or is this just what you got to do? Ooh, he's feeling it. He's feeling it.
A couple things, like, yeah, it's cringe, but like, think back to like your high school, junior high years. Isn't like 80% of the crap you did back then cringe?
Oh, of course.
So you know,
stuff I did 2 days ago is cringe.
Yeah. So just know that. But what's important is, to me, it looked like the recruits were having fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They were having a blast. They were having a good time. And that's what it's all about, right? Is out there having a blast, having a good time. Kids aren't going to remember one letter wrong on their name tag, right? They're going to remember those bonds that they formed, those relationships that they formed, and those moments where they were enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Coach.
Just to build on what Coach Jay said, the kids love being in that environment. Like, it's fun. It's the end thing, is like what we say. It's the swag. It's the fire. Whatever the word is that kid, like the high schoolers coming out say.
Wait, what does Riz mean? Is Riz good? Is that a good thing?
What they pull in the girls. They pull in the ladies. So they obviously enjoy doing all that. That's one of the things that you see at it's not just at Tennessee. You go to all the big SEC schools, you see teams putting on platforms like that where they come out in their jersey and all their gear and everything, and coming out to music and just getting hype. And Tennessee lays out the show for these guys, and that's what they like to feel.
The chat's eating me alive right now.
That's awesome. Hey, you know what though? Like, I'd be feeling it, man. I've been dominating high school football. I get an offer to Tennessee. man, you feeling on top of the world when you come out of that in dark
Yeah.
mode and
17 years
hitting
old?
on the speakers. Yeah, shoot. Heck, man, you give me an offer to Tennessee right now at 40 whatever.
Heck yeah.
Send Coach Jay through that locker room. I'll be doing backflips, man.
Hold on.
And then
Hold
I
on.
won't get up for a week.
At 40 whatever? Are you so old that you forgot your age?
We were born the same year. But
What?
I know. Wait, when's your birthday, though?
August.
Oh, so you're younger than me. See, I just turned 43 in
There,
June.
my senior. Okay. Treat you with some more respect.
Call me Mr. Bentley. I would appreciate it. So Zion Grady, 4-star edge rusher. You know, we talked about Jared Smith kind of getting mutual parting of ways, if you will, right? And we're talking about Isaiah Gibson, the number 1 edge rusher. Zion Grady's a guy that Tennessee has a legit shot at. And look again, a top 100 guy. Like we are to the point that we're almost writing off Zion Grady like, Zion Grady's not good enough. He's not good enough. He's a top 100 guy, man. And he came out of the visit saying it's the best visit he's had. He's been to Miami, Florida State, and Auburn. And he says this is the best visit that he has had. Steve Wiltfong said, don't sleep on Tennessee when it comes to Zion Grady. Let's see, where we at? Man, 226. Everybody left when I said Riz. Everybody's like, oh, my gosh, this guy's a papaw. I'm out. We still have a chance to get to 300 live viewers, guys. If you hit share, go blast it out. Let people know we're live. We get to 300 live viewers. We're going to give away, screw it, three. We're going to give away 3 free T-shirts if we get to 300 live viewers. So hit that share button. We would appreciate it. But let's talk about somebody in the chat said, who's coming off the board next? Who's the next commitment for Tennessee? Well, that is Charles House. On 3 has him as a 4-star, industry rankings as a 3-star. But guess what? When you're battling Alabama and Georgia, do the rankings really matter? You know, and here's the thing. Charles House, I'm going to call him a 4-star, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He loved himself some Tennessee. Loved Tennessee. Like, this was a guy that I thought was a lock. I thought it was going to be, we go into the live stream on Saturday, and we knew he was committing to Tennessee. Then he goes to visit Alabama. His quote, their message was that they want me there. They made me feel like I was supposed to be there. They made me feel like I had been there for months, the way they were with everybody and hanging out. This did help Bama. I leave the visit with them at the top of the list. And now they have set the standard high. He takes the visit to Georgia. Now it's a Georgia-Alabama battle. Visited Tennessee this past weekend. Now Tennessee right back up there in the mix. Coach Rice, how you feeling about Charles House? Coach G wants him. He's a priority. You're battling Alabama, Georgia. This is an elite prospect. I don't care about the rankings. You think Tennessee did enough this weekend to swing the momentum back?
Well, I know they pretty much swung enough momentum to knock Alabama out of it. He said that himself in his interview with Austin Price. He said it's between him and Georgia, Tennessee and Georgia. So I think they may have pushed enough to get the commitment. Rodney Gardner wants him, so I want him. It's point blank as that. If it's a guy Rodney Gardner wants, you got to trust the best defensive line coach in the world. So I think he's going to be a Vol come this Saturday. Can they hold it off? That's the key. They got to finish it out. Get past the high time where he was on the high this last week, and once he mellows out, is Tennessee still there on top? That's what Tennessee's got to get past. So we'll see come Saturday, but I do at this point think he's a Vol, clearly because of Rodney Gardner. That's my number one thing.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the kid's personality, but I've said it before on this channel. I do think it takes a certain kind of kid to play for Coach G. Coach G is not for everybody. He's going to push you. I like where the Vols are at with him, and I think they pull him in. I think Coach G is the difference, and hopefully he's got that good head on his shoulders. One thing I will say, Mr. House, if you watch this video, talk to your film guy who shoots your film and tell him to get down off the Goodyear blimp get onto the field so I can actually see your film and break it down for a video, I would love that. But besides that, I love Mr. House, and his film looks good from afar, I guess I'll say. I like where we stand with him, though. I think we get him in the boat.
Again, we're gonna be covering that live on Saturday. I don't know the time yet. Make sure you're dialed in. I say it in the videos. Make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. If you got the notifications on, you're gonna get a message, a notification on your phone that we're going live, and that way you won't miss out. But I'll try to announce it in videos leading up to it. I think it says 10:50, 11:50, something like that. We're gonna be covering that one live coming up this Saturday. Next Saturday, we got a big time prospect. Desan Brame, 4-star tight end. Coach Rice actually talked about him last Wednesday. He's the only tight end in the cycle that Tennessee is willing to pair with Jack Van Dorsett. He's coming off the board on June the 29th. Now, Chad Simmons wrote an article, and this was coming out of this past weekend. He said 5 momentum-changing visits over the weekend of June the 15th, because kind of going into this visit, and you can see there the On3 recruiting prediction machine, it's all Oregon. And that's kind of the way I felt in this thing. I know George is on him. I know Jack Van Dorsett is on him. But Chad Simmons put out the article, momentum-changing visit. Here's what Chad Simmons says. Oregon was on the verge of getting a commitment from Desan Brame earlier in the year. He was close on making the call on multiple occasions, and while the Ducks are still high on the list, Tennessee has kept chipping away, and the Vols have late momentum. Can they hold on is the question. Brame goes to Eugene for his official visit this weekend, and then he will announce his commitment on June the 29th. So similar to us with Charles House, right? Visited Georgia, visited Alabama, then visited Tennessee. We got the final visit. We carried the momentum. This is similar. Did Tennessee do enough this past weekend to hold off Oregon? Says it was close heading into this past weekend, but coming out, Tennessee is trending. Tennessee is trending, Chad Simmons says. So this weekend is crucial for Dan Lanning in Oregon. Oklahoma is another school hanging around in that 3rd spot. Again, like you said last week, Coach Rice, the only tight end in the entire country that Tennessee's willing to pair with Jack Van Dorsett. We've seen this coaching staff always have 2 guys, right? Princeton Fant, Jacob Warren. Jacob Warren, Cali. This season, Ethan Davis, Holden Stace. Now you look ahead, you want to pair Jack Van Dorsett with Desan Brame. How are you feeling coming off the official? Did they do enough?
I love where we are right now. I think it's definitely between us and Oregon. I think Oklahoma is definitely a lower third. I do think I agree with Chad Simmons. I think we are trending. I think there's a great shot we land him. We got to hold off the visit that he's going to Oregon this weekend. That's going to be tough, but I think in the end, the ability to come play in the SEC, to come play with Nico and G-Mac and Jack Van Dorsett, who they've built great relationships with, I think is the key. I do, as of right now, think we land Desan Brame.
And again, two guys in George and Jack that were here this past weekend too, with Desan Brame.
Yep, I do think we land him. Very versatile tight end who I think, and that's one thing he talked about in his interview. The coaching staff showed him being compared to Albert Okamoro. I can't remember.
Hold on. Say it again.
Okamoro, something. It's the tight end that you played at Missouri that is now playing at Seattle Seahawks when Coach Heupel was the OC at Missouri. They showed him clips of how he used him in the passing game, and that he liked it. He liked how versatile. He's got a little different play style than what Jacob Warren or Princeton Fant is. He's a little different. He's more of a flex out guy that can go make plays in space. I do like our chances with him.
Yeah, I like our chances with him too. There's 2 tight ends in this class that were kind of tailor-made for Tennessee. Tennessee got the first one in the boat with Jack. I love Jack Van Dorset's game. Just absolutely love it. a kid that you can flex out as well, a kid that can block his tail off. And Mr. Brame's kind of cut from that same cloth. You can flex him out, a kid that's not afraid to, get down and dirty and block as well. Obviously, he's got good taste in beaches right there. We see him at a Pacific Ocean beach, feeling the heat. And
or the cold temperatures. It's 70 out there.
Or it's been June gloom, man. June gloom. All right. I'll do better. I won't be pasty in the following weeks.
Look at this tan. Look at this tan.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I know. Damn it. All right. Anyway, I like where we are with him. Oregon's got to concern you a little. That whole group of kids that are maybe 3 years out of school, and maybe this to the year before it being one of the last years, kind of were on that. They were babies when Oregon took off, when Oregon had that explosive offense, when they had, the awesome uniforms, and everyone wanted to go there as a young kid in California. That's kind of one of the last classes for him. So you worry about that some, but I think the Volunteers have done a heck of a job fighting their way back into this thing. And right now in Coach Jay's mind, it's a 50-50 battle, and let's see if we can go win one.
Yep.
We're gonna move ahead. We're gonna start focusing on the upcoming weekend. What I loved, man, Austin Price said he's taking the over on 3 commitments before the end of June. Is that Charles House? Is that Deshaun Brame? Does somebody else jump in? Does Isaiah Gibson go ahead and commit? I think the back half of June is going to be exciting. We got a lot of commitments coming up in July as well. We'll be dialed in. We'll be keeping you guys up to date. We're going to be going live next Wednesday as well. Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. But then also this upcoming Saturday, we'll cover Charles House's commitment live. The following Saturday, Deshaun Brame's commitment live. So we'll have you guys up to date. We got to do some shills and plugs. We got about 220 watching live. I know I'm begging and shilling and pleading, trying to get to 300. I want to give you guys free merchandise. We hit 300 live viewers. We're going to give away this free merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com. If you don't want to wait on 300 live viewers, you can go buy it. We got this brand new checkerboard Knoxville, Tennessee shirt. It's clean, man. You can get a t-shirt. If you like Coach Jay, you got those pasty white shredded arms. You can rock the tank top. Whatever you want, we got it. You can customize size, style, colors, whatever you want. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is also in the description below. Cult of 8 merchandise, Talkin VAWLS, letter theme shirts, Colt member shirts, whatever you want. You want to be offensive? FUGA, Gator Hater. We got a TriStar shirt, Buck Fam. It's all there. Get in where you fit in. The link's in the description below. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We launched a Patreon. You want to be a part of the EA Sports College Football 25 Dynasty? That link's in the description. Limited spots available. Go jump into that. We're going to be launching that soon. We're auctioning off picks. You can't beat Tennessee. You can't beat Tennessee. You can't beat Texas, and you can't beat Ole Miss. Those teams are claimed, but we're going to be auctioning off more teams on Tuesday night during the NCAA stream, so make sure you come hang out for that. Also, if you just like the content, the videos, the live streams, whatever it is you like about this channel, you can hit the join button right over there beside subscribe. It's just $1. Just $1 a month. We appreciate the support. But if not, guess what? Everything's free. Nothing's behind a paywall. You can hang out, talk Tennessee recruiting and football with us all day, every day, right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Let's move ahead to the upcoming weekend. Coach Jay, I'm going to loft you a softball because I feel like me and Coach Rice been screwing you. I feel like, I'm taking the first storyline. Coach Rice gets to do this. I'm going to do that. You don't get to cherry pick anything. We got a lot of official visitors that are going to be in town this upcoming weekend. Who is the main guy that you have your eye on that's going to be visiting this upcoming weekend? Let me go all the way down to the bottom. You got Marion Dye. They've got him listed as Thursday for some weird, strange reason, whatever. You got Travis Smith. You got Shady Hayward. By the way, I mean, I feel like I can't say the name Shady Hayward without playing this clip.
Like, it's kind of a tie.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because when you hit somebody, like the feeling of knowing you hit them in front of their family and then you just lay them out, you just be like, oh, yeah.
I know you like that. Oh, you want roll with Shady? I like it.
I'm rolling with Shady, man. I love Shady's game. I've said it on here before. he loves to hit, right? Loves to lay a stick. Smart kid. He can pick the ball. He was picking between a pick six right there and laying someone out, and chose laying some out in kind of a close tie. But the thing I love about his game is he just sets beautiful traps on the football field. He's got the mind to play high level SEC football. I think he can be really special in a secondary that's kind of growing. I would be so interested to see a secondary with him, Marcus Gorey,
Mm.
and Boo Carter all
Mm.
together, because all three of them are athletic, fast, and smart on the football field, and they could be absolutely iron curtain back there in the secondary for Tennessee moving forward. Shady, man, you don't want to go to no South Carolina. You don't want to go to no UGA, man. You know what time it is. Come home, and we'll watch you hurt people and laugh at their families together.
Mm. I love Shady Hayward, and again, go back and watch that interview. Like, so much fun
Yeah.
talking to him. Been talking
Yeah.
to I think his uncle, like just the relationship that we've built. And again, we're talking about a guy that's right around the top 100, right? That's the narrative. Going back to what Coach Rice, his big point coming out of the weekend, we have a legitimate opportunity here at a top 5 class, 5 stars. But Shady Hayward, is he trolling? I'm gonna throw this to Coach Rice. Is he trolling everybody else? Because coming out of 865 Live, he said, I'm really just here to help Tennessee recruit. That's it. After the Georgia visit, guess what? Georgia leads. After the South Carolina visit, guess what? South Carolina leads. After the Florida visit, real good. Florida's the team to beat. It's Florida and South Carolina. That's the first two. He's got a decision coming up on July the 27th. Coach Rice, is he trolling? Is he a Vol and he's trolling everybody? Like, what's going on?
I think he's trolling, and I mean, if he's doing it for leverage a little bit, maybe I could get it. Maybe trying to get a little more NIL out of it. But I think this dude's a silent commit. I think he's a Vol, and if he's just leading on trying to get these other programs' heads up high and then punch them in the gut with some violence when he commits with a big old Tennessee hat, I think that's what he's doing, because he's been Tennessee lean way too long, and just everything we saw going into it in one visit, he's what people say impressionable. No one could be that impressionable. Say this team's the lead, then the next week this team's the lead, then
every week
this team's the lead. He's had Tennessee in his heart the whole time. This dude's a Vol, y'all. I'm telling you.
And again, the same narrative that we've been talking about with all the other guys. Tennessee's got the last visit. He's going to be in town this weekend. That's it. And then he's going to make a decision on July the 17th. So we'll see. I think, man, I'm very confident that Tennessee ends up landing. Crap, I just deleted everybody. Coach Rice, I think you're educated enough. Do you know who's visiting, or do I need to pull it back up?
Well, I mean, one that I want to talk about is Travis Smith.
Okay, good. That's right there on my radar. That's right there on my list. It's right there in my notes. Good pick. Let's go.
Yeah. So, if we don't land Jamie French, I think we're out for Caleb Cunningham. Do we still, if he wants to come to see, yeah, we'll take it. But Travis Smith, and to be honest, if Jamie French and Travis Smith want to come, they would do it. I think the most we take is 4 wide receivers. There's actually another wide receiver I really haven't CJ Miller was his name, is a guy that they had on had on campus last weekend. But Travis Smith is the guy that I think we're on the highest upside for right now. What I mean is that Tennessee is the most likely school that he picks if we, at the end of this visit, if it goes all well this week, I think Tennessee lands Travis Smith because he's got a great relationship with GMAC. He's got a great relationship with Mike Matthews, who, if I'm hearing right, via rumors, will be his host this weekend.
Yep, that's the way it sounds.
So I think Travis Smith, he goes into this weekend, has a great time, gets a lot of, single time with Kelsey Pope and Coach Heupel and Mike Matthews, And have we heard, is G-Mac going to be in town this weekend as an unofficial guy? Just come in and
I've not heard, but you would think so with his with the finger injury. He's not competing in the Elite 11. You would think he's going to be back in town. I don't know that for a fact, though. I don't know.
Well, if he is, he's going to be doing what he does. And so I think this dude, as we speak today, is a Vol, especially if Jamie French and Caleb Cunningham end up not being Vols. So I like where we're staying. This dude has raw, like major athleticism and skills to where this dude could end up being the top wide receiver in the country if he puts it all together. This dude has speed. He has massive hands, elite length, and wingspan. So everything you like to see in a top wide receiver. So a guy that I wish I could have, if I was doing another film breakdown versus somebody, this is a guy I'd choose. So I think he's a Vol.
Well, I mean, I know who has the Talkin VAWLS film breakdown world championship. If you were going to, if you're going to compete with somebody, and again, you look at the rankings, right? There's a theme here. Top 100, right? Top 100. You got Marcus Harris, who I plead the fifth on what happened there. Derek Meadows, staff canceled the visit. Cameron Sparks, not a take. Caleb Cunningham, Jamie French, you're battling for. This is your fallback guy. A top 100 guy is your fallback guy. And like you said, like the relationship with Mike Matthews and the fact that they're going to pair him with Mike Matthews for the visit, I like that. He's the guy that, AP interviewed, and he said, look, you have opportunity to come in and compete as a freshman. You wouldn't be catching passes from George. It would be Nico. Says it'd be a dream come true to catch passes from Nico. What do you think about Coach Jay? Not only Travis Smith, just wide receiver recruiting as a whole. Like where are you at with Travis Smith and just the wide receiver? You got Joakim Dotson and you got Radarius Jackson, who I know you praise Coach Rice for all the time. But those are the only two in the boat. Are they taking 3? Are they taking 4? What are your thoughts?
I think the goal is to take 3, but once again, I wouldn't be shocked if they took 4. I truly do believe what I was saying earlier about, once it starts popping off this year, there's going to be skill players that want to be in this offense, just period, right? It's why I took a chance at a kid that, that isn't on our radar right now during our earlier live breakdown series, Coach Rice, is because I do believe that some of these top kids, after they see the product on this field this year, are going to flip what they're thinking about Tennessee. And recruiting is fluid. We say it all the time on this channel. So I think the goal is 3 right now. But if you're able to get Smith in the boat and a 5-star kid looks at this season and decides they want to get in, I could see the Vols making room for him. So we'll see.
And then one thing I'd like to add, the new rule, which went into place last year, kids can take as many officials as they want to now.
So crazy.
So now Tennessee goes first three games of the year, goes 3-0. Nico's already over 1,000 yards passing.
Wow.
I'm just like, he's putting up crazy Heisman numbers. And Squirrel White or Chris Brazil or Brew McCoy's got 500 yards receiving already. I mean, just putting up Jalen Hyatt numbers. What wide receiver would not want to come be with that?
I've been saying that since Bayless Jones was here.
Yeah, and then like, all right, so
they got officials now.
As many officials as I want to. Khalid Lockett, Coach Jay's guy.
Yep.
Hey, I'm going to go make an official for the Alabama game.
Yep.
Tennessee comes out undefeated. Nico throws for 300 yards on Alabama. Here we are.
It could be a guy that had no zero interest in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Right? So he never took an official here. But because of the way the 2024 season played out, those unlimited officials, it used to be 5, now it's unlimited. Hey, Bring me out. I'll come see
Yep.
what Tennessee's all about.
That's all it takes.
I'm beating the dead horse, just punching it left and right. This 2024 season is going to define Josh Heupel. It is. I think the 2024 regular season and the class of 25 is going to define Josh Heupel, whether he's successful or not. And I know you mentioned it earlier, like all the people and talking about his recruiting at UCF. I never criticized him for that because he was right where Scott Frost was.
Yeah.
Like Scott Frost was not elite at Central Florida. He was like in the 70s. Heupel was right there where he was at. It's Central Florida. You're not going to sign 4 and 5 stars. Like, that's just not what's going to happen. Let's talk about one last guy that's going to be visiting this weekend. I love it. It worked out perfectly because I had 3 guys on my list. You guys picked 2 of them. This is the last one. Onus Konanbanny. And I think it might have been Coach Rice brought him to the table a couple of weeks ago on a live stream that we were talking about. And, again, a 4-star cornerback. Look at the rankings, guys. He's just outside the top 300. Another elite prospect, a guy that said Tennessee was the clear-cut leader. That's what he said. Guess what? He took the visit to Florida State, and he said Florida State is the clear-cut leader. So another guy going through the highs and lows of recruiting. Kind of weird, though, because I went to get updates on him before we went live. Really quiet. He visited North Carolina on June 7th. Quiet. Penn State on the 14th. Quiet. Even coming off the Tennessee visit, quiet. But he's a guy that I think going into this week, I said that like he already took the visit. Going into the visit this weekend, I think Tennessee can move the needle back and have an opportunity to land Onus Konanbanny. He's a guy that I'm watching this weekend as well.
Yeah, I think we he's one of those impressionable guys. Again, I know it's a word that keeps getting thrown around, but this Coach Jay says it all the time, and me and him coach these kids, these age kids. They're easily impressed.
They're high school kids.
They're high school kids. They love the flashy things. They love being oohed and ahhed and all that, and they like what they see each visit they go to. Well, at the end, which one feels like home after they get past that visit high? Well, this is another one that's after Florida, they're the leader. As Florida State, they're the leader. After so-and-so, they're the leader. Tennessee gets the last visit. What comes and before the visit, before he made all these officials, Tennessee was the leader. Can we, gain that momentum back? He made a surprise visit after he made the Florida State visit. A lot of people did not talk about. He came in for another unofficial on the way back somewhere because he wanted to see Knoxville again. And so this kid loves Knoxville. He loves Tennessee Volunteers. Can this official visit bring him over the edge to say, all right, that's it. Tennessee is my team. They're my home. I think it's a legit shot that this is one of the guys that after this weekend, I got pegged to shut it down and commit. I got 3 guys after this weekend that are going to come out of nowhere and shut it down and commit. I got 3 guys I've got written down on my notes over here, and he's one of them. And I'll tell y'all the other 2 backstage. I meant to tell you earlier.
Coach Jay, how do you feel? How do you feel like June's going to wrap up? Austin Price feels like we get 3 or more commits. How do you think June wraps up? And kind of bleed this into just the class of 25. We're talking about top 5 class. I think we got a legit shot at a top 5.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. I think we do get those 3 in the boat. We'll see who they are. Onus could definitely be one of them. But I think we end June feeling really good, man. I think the momentum's just going to keep on picking up for Tennessee, and we're in for a big year, man. So it's always a good time to be a Tennessee Vol, but it's certainly a great time to be a Tennessee Vol right now. And we're just going to keep on picking up more momentum. I think we can get Onus in the boat, and I like the nickname Onus One Kenobi.
Love it. I love it.
And Onus, you can only use that nickname if you come to Tennessee, since Talkin VAWLS thought of it. So
it's trademarked, is what I heard.
Yeah, if you want the really cool nickname, you're going to have to come to Tennessee. So let's get you in the boat, Onus One Kenobi, and call it a day. But I feel good about June, and let's get 3 more in the boat.
I love it. I love it, boys. This was a fun live stream, man. Like huge win for the baseball team, right? They're going to the College World Series final, and everybody's putting out post-game content. Go Vols 247, VolQuest. Everybody's doing post-game baseball stuff, and guess what we're doing? We're talking Vol football recruiting, and we flirted with 300 live viewers. This is the place to be. We appreciate the love and support. We'll be live on Saturday for the commitment of Charles House. Make sure you guys are dialed in for that. Going to be a good time. But we are going to wrap it up. Appreciate all the love and support. Shout out to all yous that dropped a little tip in the tip jar, those super chats, those new memberships, the Patreon. If you want to be in the PlayStation 5 EA Sports College Football 25 Talkin VAWLS Dynasty, that link's in the description below. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. For Coach Jay, for Coach Rice, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That we